Off Highway 73 in Fairfield is a place few may know exists.
Camp Floyd State Park is a hidden gem.
And park manager Clay Shelley knows all the stories.
Camp Floyd was established in 1858 by the military, so imagine over 7,000 people living in this tiny little town. There was a half a mile of buildings, saloons, brothels, and gambling halls known as Frogtown, which was the red light district.
And this is where our story takes a ghostly twist.
And with Frogtown being here, there were murders. A lot of murders happened right here on Main Street.
But most of the paranormal revolves around soldiers who built the camp.
You have soldiers who met some very horrible endings.
Because there were soldiers that were murdered here, there were soldiers that died here. There were others that died of unknown causes.
The camp then became a spot along the Pony Express, with a school even being built.
So that's how you can tell.
But on this night, school was about to be in session once again.
Should get going.
This time for people from across the state that were attempting to have a sighting of their own.
Aha, you're sitting in that third seat right there. There might be a ghost sitting there because there's a orb or apparition things right there.
Teaching this particular lesson was Jerry Hansen.
And there's a couple that look similar in shape.
Having worked at the park for a long time, she's instructing on the paranormal.
That showed an orb. This is these little white spots.
And how to capture a glimpse on camera.
I just need to get my cameras.
Class dismissed as the sun set. It was time to get to work.
So I'm pretty much a skeptic when it comes to this kind of things. My sons really were into it, so that's why I agreed to come.
April Evans is one of those looking for the unknown, but she's been here before on a night much like this one.
I mean, I didn't really feel anything too creepy, but as the night went on, it got a little more creepy. And then they tell you about the ribbons and things like that. And there was a ribbon in the picture I took, which was quite shocking.
And it's that experience that brought her back.
People are fascinated by the way people die, how they die, and especially if they're sticking around, right?
Some of the stories I've heard are the rocking chair in the end moving on its own. Some people have heard voices on their EMF recorders and everything. Some people have seen people at the schoolhouse. We see a lot of orbs when we do these programs and a lot of unexplained stuff that people smell. They smell things, you know, scents and stuff, whether perfume or cigarettes or cigars are often smelled out here. Whether they hear voices, whether they, you know, creaking. A lot of people feel that they've seen some of the Carsons who managed the inn and know that.
And just outside the Stagecoach Inn, a man showed me this photo.
Probably about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and you could see the orbs. Many inside were snapping away pictures, hoping to catch something too.
I think it's sophisticated cameras like Ghostbusters.
And in one of the rooms, a lady says she could make out orbs floating above that rocking chair we mentioned earlier.
Even without taking a picture, you can just watch them in there, like just flying around.
Upstairs, the remains of a gunshot mishap peppered the wall. The occupant of this room discharged the weapon, nearly taking out a fellow guest. With dozens more stories behind these century-old walls, some took it serious. Others had a laugh with a few scares along the way.
Wait, do we go this way?
And while Camp Floyd offered its share of spooks and specters, a short drive away, its cemetery was also an attraction. Most of the graves oddly laid out, and most marked only unknown.
There it is, right there. Ralph Pike, First Sergeant, assassinated in Salt Lake City. Accidental drowning. So that guy was murdered.
Here, the air was different, casting an aura of foreboding. And then something strange started happening. one of our wireless microphone frequencies picked up these sounds. And after checking to make sure everything was off, we were left with no explanation. Phantoms or fantasy, you be the judge, but we weren't alone in hearing things.
They said they heard some things through the spirit box and communicating with ghosts. So
April and her family had again experienced the paranormal. And since that makes 2 years in a row,
it's going to become an annual thing for our family, I'm sure.
it's that little bit of wonder, mystery, and excitement that makes the paranormal at Camp Floyd a place to visit.
Ghosts are something we can't explain. And there's an attraction there. When you can't prove something, more people believe in it and want to experience it and try to find out for themselves.
Just make sure you don't find yourself a permanent resident of the space beyond.